hell is going on here? So I've been waiting for this for a couple of days to see what Paul George is really going through. Palmdale's finest, another P. We lost him, and everybody laughing, everybody clowning. Oh, y'all supposed to win it all with the the big three. How'd that go? Well, it didn't go as I thought it would go, and I didn't think these negotiations went like I thought they would go. I thought Paul George was going to stay. I thought Paul George was going to get offered first, even before Kawhi. Because Paul George, of the big three, James Harden included, was the most reliable, most consistent, most available. All right, so obviously Paul George is no longer a Los Angeles Clipper. He is a Philadelphia 76er, but how did he get there? We're going to break that down. But first, let P tell y'all how it went down.
What was the negotiations like with the Clippers to let you know that, hey, I'm leaving y'all and I'm going to Philly?
Just to put it out there, like, I never wanted to leave LA. LA is home. This is where I wanted to finish at. I wanted to work as hard as possible to win one in LA. Like, that was the goal, to be here and be committed to LA. As it played out, though, like, the first initial deal was, I thought, kind of disrespectful. Right?
Say it.
And
Say it.
Again, in all of this, no hard feelings. So the first initial deal was like 2 years, 60. So I'm like, whoa.
Hey, that's crazy, bro.
That's great.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So I'm like,
Wow.
no, I'm not signing that. This was maybe like October-ish. Negotiations first started, and it was 260. And as we kept going, it was like, they would go up, inches, to where it was like 44, 45, right? But this was like a couple months in between before we got it to 40-something. I'm still like, nah, I'm not doing that. Then I hear wind of like, what they're going to give Kawhi. So I'm like, just give me what Kawhi got. Like,
Right.
y'all view us the same. Like, we came here together. We want to finish this together. I'll take what Kawhi got. Like, no
cool with
problem.
that.
I was cool with that. Like,
Wow.
And we were still taking less. We were taking less. Kawhi took less. I was like, if Y gonna take less, I'm not gonna say I want more than Y. Like, I'm not gonna, like, it's not about me being paid more than him. Like, I'm gonna take what he got. Y'all give him that, give me that. They didn't want to do that. So this was before the All-Star break. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want, like, let's not even have no more conversations. Like, let's just play this year out. Cause it was starting to get into like my mood. Now I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to have that energy carry over into the team. Season in, I finished healthy, 74 games played, and had one of my most efficient seasons. So now we go into negotiations. Now they bring it to 3 years.
Where we at?
150. All right. That's cool. It sucks that it had to get to this point, like that we couldn't get this figured out a lot sooner. But now we at the end of the year, 3 years, 150. So I'm like, all right, like now we're in a ballpark. You know what I mean? Now we can have conversation here. I presented the 150, no trade. Cause in the meeting, they're like, we want you here long term. We want to, when you're retired, we want you to be a Clippers for a lifetime, like all of this stuff. So I'm like, cool. Give me the 3 years, 150, no trade then. Like, no trade clause. Then I'm taking less, but at least I know I'm here. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm committed to y'all. Like, they didn't want to do the no trade.
Do that?
Wow.
So then now I'm like, all right, well then it only makes sense for me to do 4 years, 212, right? Like, at least pay me my money. If y'all gonna trade me, then y'all gonna trade me. But at least like now I'm not in a situation where I could have got more had I just gone to free agency. Then take this deal, and then y'all could just ship me wherever I want, and then now I'm on this deal that I didn't want. So they didn't want to do that. So then I was like, now I'm open to entertaining what's out there. And then through the negotiations, they wasn't budging. They weren't gonna budge. I wasn't gonna budge. I thought I played well enough for them to be like, you know what, he's a part of our future. Like, I thought I did that. I thought I earned that. Granted, we didn't win while I was there, but luck has a lot to do with that. We couldn't remain healthy as a unit.
All right, that's enough. All right, I don't want to hear that. I already lived through that. All right, God dang it. Had to get the extended remix of that. Damn, I had to go to the full length version. Goodness. Let's talk through those negotiations, though. Goodness. Man, the love language of sports, money. When them owners, management team come at you with an offer, forget all them handshakes, all that eye contact, all those invitations to the parties and to the mixers and to the socials, going out into the community and supporting your endeavors and your charity. Hey, woo! How much? That tells you how much they love you, how much they love your game, how much they see you in their future. Simple as that. And they played Paul George. It's weird to play Paul George in this. Now, I think they played him for two reasons. One, they went into it saying, we're only picking two of these three guys. We're going into the new arena. We're not going into the new arena with a lot of momentum because, hey, it looked amazing during the regular season and it fizzled out in the playoffs. This team was hurt again in the playoffs. Kawhi missed, 6 games? And Paul George didn't get him over the top. James Harden didn't get him over the top, and he didn't erase his whole playoff woes and his exorcism he needs to have on his playoff career, right? So I think the executive decision was made, keep 2. Now, when they're all at their peak powers, and it's tough with Harden because his peak powers are farther behind him than anybody else's, but when they're all at their peak powers, it goes Kawhi, Paul George, then James Harden, right? However, that's not how you would have to give out contracts or you would deal out the money. You would say best player, best player, best player in that order. But if I only had to keep 2, who am I going to work with? For some reason, they chose Kawhi and James Harden. What are those reasons? James Harden could cook by himself. James Harden is now in that part of his career that when he's by himself, activate, let me go again. That's part 1. Part 2 is with Kawhi and James Harden, that now is 2 people. You gave Kawhi what he wanted, but not fully. He took less. You gave James Harden because you knew James Harden, not thirsty, but certainly was open to taking less. And he took less. Right? He got 35, I think. Kawhi getting 50. He getting 35. Paul George trying to get to where Kawhi at. Not what you deserve, but what we going to give you. And then they looked at James Harden and said, if he taking 35, why would we pay 50, and 35 just to lose in the playoffs? Not happening. Not happening. First round of playoffs, not happening. To a 7th seed, not happening. And that's what happened to Paul George. I also think personality came into play with this. Like Paul George, if you know him, met him, I know him a little bit, LA guy, know his family. Nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish where they started, whatever they say. I think that if you look at Kawhi, he don't look like the one to test. Actions prove that. You look at James Harden, you thinking you can test him, but to a certain point, actions prove that. But Paul George, you're like, I don't know if I could test him or not. So let's see. And they saw. That 3-year 150, no trade was, I get it. Because you signed 3-year 150, next thing you know, you look up and you and Timbuktu, you're like, where am I playing? I'm in Orlando. Not that bad. But you're in Orlando, you're like, I don't want to be in Orlando for 3-150. I'll be in Orlando for 4-2-12. And I think Paul George had to make that play because he got pushed so much to the edge that he finally had to say, look, I can't budge off of this. Because if I take 3 years, 150, no trade, we do that. But with a trade, can't have that. So I think these negotiations went south because of Paul George's just being a good dude, being a good player, but also not being as, if I should say selfish, as cutthroat as, look, either my way or the highway. I think that came back to haunt him in these negotiations. Felt that way. Y'all tell me what y'all think, because I still think we got a squad. That whole winning the championship stuff, Clipper Darrell already tapped out. He talking about, I'm back to just having a good time and good experience. I'm like, nah. It's still Clip City, Chip City 2025. However, I can't lie to you. Gun in my head, don't shoot. I don't know if we're going to do anything this year. We need a little more. We'll see.